This episode is brought to you by CBD TV, your one-stop shop for all your CBD needs. Use code FRESHOUT to get 15% off your next order. So after you made it through the military boot camp program, what direction did your life take from there?
So when I got out, I was straight. I kept it straight. Was working. Had my contractor's license. Mm-hmm. And Hurricane Andrew hit. It was in '94. 94 hurricane. I think it was 94, whatever. And since I was a painting contractor, it ripped through Miami. So I had my license, and now suddenly, boom, here I am making money, just like that. I was young, but I had a crew. I had a crew of guys with me. We were working, painting. I was pulling in enough. It wasn't what it was, but
good money.
After prison, you're happy with $500 a day. You're happy. Okay, that's good money. So I got my brother work with me, my uncle work with me, and we're doing jobs all over the place, going down to Miami. And then the thing with painting or any construction is you got to be careful with the contractor. You're dealing with a homeowner is one thing. Mm-hmm. When you're dealing with a contractor, and you're a subcontractor, so he had the main contract. If he doesn't get paid, you don't get paid, type of thing. That's the way it works. Mm-hmm. So, or they can hold on to your money as long as they want till final inspection. So he's giving me all these jobs, and it's going great for a long time. Because he had hundreds of houses were damaged, and they were just constantly going. And then there was one job in particular where he bid the job at some ridiculously low number. I mean, this on the painting portion. The roof, he got everything he did right, except for when it came to the painting, he was like $8,000, some silly number. Because what he did was he took square footage and came up with a number. Mm. This lady wanted all this, 5 different colors. Here, it's square footage is when all the walls are white and everything's white, and that's that, right? Mm-hmm. She wanted she was in a high-end multi-million-dollar house, and she was very specific on. My bid was, it was 8, mine was 20, and he was like, no, it can't be, and impossible. Then my dad came out and looked at it, and he said, ooh, 20, you're low. I'd be 35. My dad was always high, right? But I wasn't. My dad could get more money, So anyway, we kind of made a deal because the guy had given me so much work. And make a long story short, he ended up screwing us out of the money that he did owe us. We worked on this lady's house, and it just got to become a headache. This was one big job we were on, because this was the one that was, we couldn't bounce around to all the little ones because we were on this one.
Yeah.
And we were trying to collect, and then he just he just skipped out. He was having a problem too with the lady, and he probably made a few million and said, So it left everyone hanging. So one day, right after that, my brother sitting on the couch, and he goes, why don't you call the Cubans and grab an ounce? Same thing my uncle did almost, grab an ounce. I said, are you out of your fucking mind? I just got out, man. I just got off probation. I'll tell you a quick funny one. While I'm on probation, I'm backing up a little. I just got out of prison. And I wanted to go do some martial arts training. And there's a guy named Lo Man Kham who's it's a Bruce Lee's teacher, was Yip Man. Yip Man's nephew is Lo Man Kham. So that's a real tight connection to have. Mm-hmm. I'm on probation in front of the same judge that was kind of nice to me, right? That judge, the hanging judge. So I got out of the boot camp. I wasn't on house arrest. It got changed to probation. So now I'm on probation. So I asked my lawyer, I said, hey, I want to go to Taiwan and train with this guy, but I'm on probation. Because I have to ask the judge, see what he says. So we go in front of the judge, see if there's any objection from the probation officer. They really didn't have an objection. And he says, it's slim, but you never know. And he goes, yep, you can go to Taiwan. Go to Taiwan.
Did you have to give a letter of recommendation? You know how they sometimes want you to do like a letter from the person?
Well, what we did was we first sent, this was done more in a traditional Chinese way. My teacher sent a letter to Lo Man Com, okay? Because he was part of our organization top. He was one of the guys of the many, 5 or 6 guys in Taiwan. There's an organization in Taiwan. So he was one of them. So my teacher sent a letter to him saying, I'd like to send a student to you, blah, blah, blah. And he replied, yes, accept, ... That's the way it went.
Okay.
The judge didn't ask for any specifics. He just said,
okay.
But my attorney did go up there and say, hey, he has a chance to learn under one of Bruce Lee's instructor's nephew. So this is a big thing. So I said, okay, cool. Now go ahead, go for it. Just pop, pop, pop. So now I go there, I train. It was okay. It wasn't as great as I thought it would be. It's a whole other story. But when I come back, when I get to leave Taiwan, go to, it was Hawaii, was our first stop. So we have a layover in Hawaii. And they stop the plane and they tell everyone to remain in their seats. So I'm like, okay. Didn't think it was anything big, just remain in your seats. And then I'm on the aisle and I see some agents getting on board. A customs agent. And they got a paper and they're looking for someone. And I'm like, ooh, we got some action here, right? I'm like, ooh, someone's getting nailed, right? And they're walking down the thing and I'm trying to see, all right, who they gonna get, They get close and they stop at me and they go, you, come with us. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I go, they walk me outside and they put me in a, where your weight's right outside the gate, right? You got seats and stuff waiting to board. So we're changing planes. So they put me in my own thing, roped off. And I got a couple agents asking me, so, how much heroin did you bring over? I'm like, what? Completely not even close, I'm thinking to myself. So what the hell are you talking about? He goes, we got a tip. You got a tip that I went to Taiwan and brought over heroin while I'm on probation. Do I look like a fucking jerk off to you or what? He goes, what's your suitcase look like? I go, it's red with yellow stripes, pink polka dots, and purple mushrooms. They wanted to go on the plane, and get my luggage out. I said, if you think I'm going to tell you what my suitcase can look like, what my suitcase looks like, so you can go out and put something in it, you're out of your fucking mind. Go find it yourself. Now, when you have to look for a suitcase under the plane,
oh yeah,
oh man, that's work. Okay,
I worked at the airport,
so they got to go and try to find, because they don't know where it is. It's just there.
Yeah.
So they got me roped off. And the entire plane sitting over there, everyone's waiting because they're on the plane trying to find my luggage.
So they opened the luggage compartment. It's actually going through all the luggage.
They stopped. The plane was stopped. They went onto the plane trying to find my suitcase. So while I'm sitting in the airport, and I'm just roped off. There's like really no guard. I'm just roped off. But I'm in Hawaii. There's a phone booth, old school telephone. I call my dad. I say, hey, I got stopped in Hawaii, and they're asking stupid questions, and they're searching the bag. He goes, let me call Coast Guard John. So we had a friend in the Coast Guard. So he calls Coast Guard John and he says, hey, this is what's going on. So he's a Coast Guard's government official.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets, it's nothing, red flag, nothing, zero, absolutely nothing. They're just checking, they got nothing on you, just let them do what the fuck they're gonna do, and as long as there's nothing there, you're clean. So just all bullshit. So even after going to prison, even after doing all that, getting permission from the judge to travel to China, they still had the balls to pull me off an airplane and say how much heroin. I never sold heroin in my life. Well, say something else.
Where do you think that tip? Where did that come from?
It was bullshit. It was all part of their same thing they did from the beginning. It was nothing.
Okay, yeah, another squeeze tactic.
It was just he said your flag.
Yeah.
Basically, your name's got a flag on it, and he says next time you travel, get used to this for the next few years.
Yeah.
Every time you go, this is going to happen for the next few years, and eventually you'll go off the radar. And that's what happened there. But on the when I was in the painting business, my brother's on the sofa. Back to that, my brother's on the sofa, and he says, "Call the Cubans." And I'm like, I just got out of prison. He goes, "Here's the deal. I'll sell it. I heard this one before, right? I'll sell it, and whatever we make, you'll get half, I'll get half. You don't have to do anything. Just get it." So this guy just screwed us out of, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000, and it was just getting frustrating. So now I started thinking to myself, all right, I got caught once, first offense. I've already been charged as an adult, so this will be a second offense. I am 18. What happens on second offense? So now I know if I get caught, I'm going to get at least 7-8 years, at least, if it's under an ounce. If we're keeping grams, just small stuff, nickel and dime in it. So I said, all right. And he would give him the ounce, and then we start getting more and more and more. So we went from ounces to key, quarter key, a half key, quarter key. So now we're starting back up again, all right? But my brother's doing the majority of the selling. And then he gets a phone call from one of his good friends. I won't mention his name, but he's a really good friend of his, and the guy never ratted on him, and it was a complete accident. So my brother says, hey, so-and-so called, and he's got a friend that's coming down from New York. So my brother's friend was good, and the guy that was coming down from New York was apparently good too. Okay? And he tells me, we're meeting at Bennigan's on the corner. I said, Bennigan's. So now, you know what, everything's coming back to me? Another fucking parking lot. Another parking lot, another crowded place. I said to my brother, I said, Mark, listen, it's going to be you got your friend and his friend. If a fourth person comes, fucking just go to the bathroom and flush down the toilet, all right? They wanted a quarter key, all right, quarter key. So now that brought it up to, that's 250. So that brings it up to a 10-year minimum mandatory.
He wanted you there too?
No, he didn't want me there.
Okay.
I want nothing to do with this one.
Yeah.
I don't like I knew my brother, but he was doing it with his good friend, which he was good, and he was doing it with his good friend, which was supposedly good. But you're dealing with a guy in New York, you don't know what the hell happened.
You don't know what happened up there.
When he gets there, my brother's there, his friend's there, he brings his buddy, and here comes a fourth guy.
You knew it.
And he goes, so they had a conversation, and he asked him something like, what do you do? He goes, I'm his cousin. And then they went into the bathroom to do the deal, and then he asked him another question, and it was different from what he heard. And he goes, he knew right there he was screwed. So they were already in the bathroom doing the deal. It was quarter keys, less than 9 ounces. And Mark, my brother, after they paid the bill, he walked outside, and I had to deal with Mark. I said, listen, at exactly 2 o'clock on the dot, I'm going to beep you. It was beepers. I'm going to beep you. You call me back immediately. Okay, exactly 2 o'clock. If you don't call me, because I tell them, don't go. Don't do it. Don't sound right. Don't go. 2 o'clock on the dot comes. I beep him. No call. 2:05. 2:06. I said, oh shit. So I grab all the shit in the house. I take it off, stick it upside out. It was up in a tree in the backyard. It was a giant oak tree up in a bird's nest. So house is clean. There's nothing in there. And then I call Hallandale Police, and I said, hey, my brother just got into a fight on the beach, and he got arrested. could you tell me what his bond is? And the lady goes, oh, sure, what's his name? I said, Mark. And she goes, oh, he wasn't arrested for a fight. He's been charged with drug trafficking. So now I'm thinking, oh, no, okay, here they come. They're coming to the house. I know they're coming to the house.
Yeah.
So what do? I open the front door, put my lounge chair in the front yard, lay back in the front, drinking a soda, and here comes the cops flying around the corner. And I was literally 3 blocks from the Hallandale police station. They come flying around the corner in their unmarked cars. And I said, damn, you guys are late. And they looked at me like, what? I said, search the house, it's empty. Like, how'd you know we were coming? I said, well, the lady at the front desk told me. So that was kind of a funny story. Dumb lady gave it away. But I would have cleaned the house out anyway. So now we lost a quarter key. So that was money. So now I'm like, oh, my brother's in jail. Got to get him out. And it started again. And then it just got bigger and bigger. And sooner or later, I'm dealing with, had one incident where I had a Colombian friend of mine, Carlos, who was introduced through one of the Cubans. And we got along real good. And he called me and he said, do you have any connections at the airport? I said, what do you need? He goes, I need someone who can get on the plane and take something off. I says, I don't know anybody, but I can ask around. So now I go to the Italians because somebody knows somebody. Someone's going to know somebody, right?
Yeah.
Right? Somebody's going to know somebody. I said, he goes, because if you can find it, I can put on as much as you want. I'm like, how much you talking? He goes, well, start small. So 100 keys. Was it 50 or 100? Whatever it was 50 or 100. So I said, let me ask. So I call a guy. I called Jerry. Okay, Jerry Chili. He was the capo of the Banano. I was telling you about that. The guy I knew.
From back in the day?
Back in the days.
Yeah.
I got to get a message to Chili, who's in Miami federal prison. All right, he's in prison. I got to get him to call me so I can talk to someone else to get him a message. Because you can't talk on the phone.
Yeah,
obviously.
record everything.
So I go to the person that goes to see him, the visitation room. They tell him so-and-so, puts me on his call, fills out, puts me on a call list, calls me on my landline at the house. I said, hey, how you doing? Hey, we'll shoot the shit, up. He goes, okay, go see the beard. I say, okay, got it. So I go see the beard. And, I go see the beard and I tell the beard, and then he hooks me up with another guy named Steve Maruca, which is, we skip Steve Maruca's story because we'll be here for 10 days if we keep going back and forth, right? So Steve Maruca's another old time, he was a Banano hitman. I mean, this guy was like a Tony Plate. He was just one of those killer guys.
No nonsense.
No nonsense. And I used to hang out with Steve when he had a diner. I thought he was just old school diner where you sit and you get bacon and eggs type of old school diner, right? Mm-hmm. He was behind the diner. He was on the other side serving people. I didn't know this guy was a hitman. He's serving bacon and eggs to people. He's a made dude for the Bananos.
They're working in the diner.
But he owned the diner, right? So he owned the diner. He wouldn't work there. And he had a refrigerator in the back. So we don't know how many people were hanging up in the refrigerator in the back either. So, and I didn't know this guy was a hitman until later on down the road. I heard he would clip someone for $5. He used to call him the $5 button man.
Damn.
Yeah. It was a joke because, if he had a bad day at the track type of thing, if you get Steve on the right day, you get someone taken out for nothing. But Steve was a tough son of a bitch. Florida being an open territory, meaning any families can work together and da. This guy was so scary. There was I think it was the Colombos and it wasn't his family, it was Colombo and the Gambinos. They were working together, all right? And what the racket back then was they would get a bunch of legitimate people with good credit, and you'd open up a jewelry shop, you get a license, and you get all this jewelry sent to you for on credit. You get all this money sent to you on credit.
I see where this is going.
Close shop. That's it. Bankrupt. File bankruptcy. It's such an easy scam. Bankruptcy. Now what? Now it's a civil suit. Yeah. So the mob was doing this just.
Oh, so wow.
They were cleaning house.
They're
cleaning house.
Damn.
Yeah. get legit people.
Yeah.
And so
And then backdoor.
it was Bonanos. Yep, Bonanos and the Colombos were working together, and they were making. They had a lot of money coming in. They had like 12 jewelry stores.
Damn.
Bringing in the money, and they were trying to, as they're selling a little bit, so they can build the credit and build
get
it
more.
and keep more. And as soon as they get a shitload of credit, they get a ton of jewelry and say, "Fuck you, I ain't paying you back." And that was it. Closed down. Like, what are you gonna do? Sue them?
Wow. Yeah, civil
The worst
action.
thing that happened was the guy's credit went to shit. That's all that happened. That was it.
Wow.
So Steve heard about this racket, and he goes, walks right in and says, "I want a piece of the action." Who the fuck does that? You can't just walk in on someone else's crew and say, "I want your money." It doesn't work like that. You can't do it. He did. He walked right in.
In Florida?
In Florida. Told those guys that the little crew they had going on.
With the killer dude.
The killer dude, right now, he's with the Bonanos,
Oh,
right?
wow.
He's the Bonanos, the guys I know.
Trying
right?
to press, oh, yeah.
He squeezed these other two guys from the Colombos and the Gambinos. Now, this is in Florida, so you got the guys in New York, the heads. They're going, "Oh shit! Wait, Steve's down there doing this to us." Now they got to make a decision when something like this happens. Got to kill him.
Is Steve made?
Oh yeah, he's a
Okay.
maid. Can't just kill a maid
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He's putting a squeeze on him. What's the easiest way out? So they have a sit down. You have a sit down and you try to figure out, all right, what type of agreement. You got to be very careful with your sit downs, what you say. And Steve was one. Listen, he was one of those killers. And if you didn't have one of those killers on your crew,
Yeah.
or the guy at the time, like Tony Plate was the guy at the time.
Yeah,
He was the
yeah.
guy, right? At that time, it was Steve Maruca. He was the killer. He was the known killer. There wasn't anyone else. Now, you can fly guys in all the time if you want to kill. That's right. But in South Florida, he was the guy. So he just walked in and said, "I want some of it. I want 50. First, he asked for 50 grand.
Damn.
Right. First, it was 50. That was just 50. After the sit down, he walked out with $500,000. Yeah.
What the?
Yeah. He said because
Damn, you pressed him for half a
he pressed
mil?
$500,000. Yep, $500,000.
So he must have provoked fear then for him coming there.
They shit their pants because the guys in New York, they look at it like this: either we pay him the $500,000
Damn.
and we can still make money,
Oh,
or he
shit.
fucking destroys our whole crew and we don't make anything.
Wow.
It's a business. It's a business move. But in the back of their minds, they go, "Okay, we're going to get your ass one day."
Eventually.
Eventually, it's going to happen. I mean, no one's on. Look, a guy like Tony Plate, right? You think he's as mean and as tough as nails, and he fucking just clip people like that, and then here comes John Gotti out of nowhere when he was younger. Take out Plate. No one even knows
Damn.
where Plate went. My mom told me.
Wow.
My mom told me the last place we seen him, I seen him get in the car and go toward. She knew the exact location. Still, they don't know where the body is.
And you said like the guy Tony Plate, he provoked. He'll see him. They know that death was coming.
He was called. They called him. They said there was a story that he jumped on someone's desk, I believe, and bit a chunk out of his face. I mean, the guy was just completely nuts. But he was an enforcer. That's what he
Yeah,
did. He
yeah.
loaned you money.
Yeah.
You better fucking
You
pay
got to
back.
find a bigger pit bull.
Yep, that was his nickname, Pitbull. Tony Plate, the Pitbull. They said he had a metal plate in his head, but not true. So we, where was I before?
You said Steve pressed the $500,000.
Steve pressed the $500,000. So he was the killer. So yeah, we're back to the finding a connection in the airport. So now I'm sitting with Steve Maruca, the guy that I used to sit down as a kid and at his diner. Right, he's sitting with a maid guy. I'm a little older now, and I said, he goes, I got a message from the old man. And the old man is Jerry Chili. He's the captain. He's the capo of the Bonanos. So he goes to Steve. He's the strongest guy down here. So I'm sitting with Steve, and he goes, "What's up, kid?" And I said, "Listen, we needed someone in an airport, whether it's Fort Lauderdale or Miami, that can get the bags off." He goes, what do you got? He goes, "I got a guy in Colombia that can put it on if we can get it off." And he goes, "Just take it off?" Because they don't like to fuck with drugs. They say that. They don't know drugs, no drugs.
Yeah.
But they always find a way around it. We're just taking it off. You're just taking it off and handing it to me. That's all you're doing. And then you're getting an envelope, right? That's it.
Yeah.
So he goes, "All right, let me find out." So A little bit of time goes by, a few days. He goes, hey, meet me at this place. He's got a guy with him. And he goes, just stick it in 2 suitcases and I'll bring it to you right in front of the airport. I go, just like that? He goes, yeah, no problem. And I pull Steve aside. I said, wait a minute, this guy's going to go onto the fucking plane, grab 2 suitcases, have 100 keys or 50 keys, and just like that? Because they vouched for the guy. He's been working at the airport he's got security clearance, walks in, baggage handler. This is 90s, early 90s. So maybe it's not like it is now.
Yeah.
You can't fucking do anything.
No.
Cameras
But
everywhere.
this is pre 9/11, so you do.
Yeah.
You do
So
all kind of stuff.
I tell my buddy Carlos, I said, hey, he's over there in Colombia. I said, okay, let's go. He puts him on. And ships over. The kid calls. Said, all right, I'll meet you. Airport. He comes in his little, he was driving a golf cart. Both suitcases. Here you go. Boom, done. Just like that. I couldn't fucking believe it. It was so easy, it was scary. It was so easy, it was scary. I said, damn. So Carlos was like, damn, that was good. Let's do another lick. This is, you got the guy, I got the guy, let's go. And I was like, you know what? I already been down for one. I don't want an international trafficking charge on me, right? Yeah, I don't want that shit.
Yeah.
So I passed it off to this the kid, fat guy down the street, the fat man.
Oh, okay.
Let him fuck with it. He didn't give he fucked with it. But me and Carlos were tight because I made the connection, and so anytime dope came in, I was getting first pick and cheaper. And cheaper by, if you get a kilo for $1,000 cheaper and you can move 50 keys, you get 50 grand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, volume.
Yeah, volume, right? So me and Carlos, we did quite a bit of stuff. And on that first shipment, it was short. This is a bad story. So the first shipment's short. So I get the dope, take it back to, we had an apartment on Brickell Avenue that we stored the dope and cash and account money and all that other stuff, high-end neighborhood. So he goes, weigh it. So I said, it's good. It was $9.99. He goes, weigh them all. I said, they're all $9.99. He goes, they're a gram short. I said, not a big deal. He goes, oh shit, no, what do you mean, no? Not a gram. So it was actually 100 keys because it came out to, how much was it? 10 grand, I think it came out to. Anyway, so he goes, it came out to, you got 100 keys and every one of them being a gram short. He did the math. He goes, something ain't right here. So I'm like, it's just a fucking gram. He goes, nope, someone's got to pay.